this basically little list will make my life 10 times better, if not way more. Okay, so the first step of your brain dump will be you writing everything down that comes to mind. And this could take a little while, and you should take your time with this. And you can draw lines, tables, graphs, and that's to visualize certain connections if you'd like. You can write feelings, problems, any thoughts, dreams, to-dos, ideas, and so on. Just everything that comes to mind. So at some point you are done writing anything down. You can't come up with anything else, and this could be a sign of you being done with the first step. It's okay if it's not enough, if it feels like it's not enough, or if it's too much. I don't have as much. I just have a couple of key points, but note that I've done this before, and so there aren't many new things that I came up with. And also, your brain is still processing the task, and what could happen is that after you've done the first step, more things will come up and you can add them later. That's fine as well. So the second step ensures you to make sense of what you just have written down. You can do this by coloring, writing, typing in columns, for example. There's no exact format for this, but here are some examples. So you can categorize the things that you've written down in a couple of categories, like to-dos, problems, thoughts, people need to contact, dreams, goals you have. What you can do is give them a certain color and then color the things that are associated with that. Okay, what you could do now is see all the things that you just colored, for example, and see if you have direct or indirect control over them, or maybe not even have any control over them. So, for example, having thoughts feel like they just come up to you, but you can listen to affirmations or talk to someone to see what they think about them. Or if you have a problem where you referred to someone else, and that person is not responding to your application, for example, you can re-email them, you can call them, or reach someone else. So even though those things feel like you don't have any control over them, you could do something about them to make you either feel better or make the problem less of a problem. But there are some things that you don't have any control over. I don't have anything written down of any of that sort, so I don't have anything written down that I don't have control over. But you could think of something like, well, either I wanted to say the weather, if the weather is not something you like, you can't control that. What you can control though is your attitude towards the weather, so maybe you can work on that. Okay, so now we're going to take some action. So it's time to write a plan for all the things that we just listed down, and this can feel very big, but it will give you a lot of peace. So what the thing is that this basically little list will make my life 10 times better, if not way more. So what I'm going to do is I will group them together and I will put them into actionable steps. So this might require you to really think about what you can do about them. It might be one thing you have to do. Like if you, for example, have to call the dentist, you don't have to make a whole plan about calling the dentist. You might if you have a fear for calling the dentist or going there, but most of the time it's just a one task. So you can put that in the calendar, and maybe the fear of you going to the dentist might be something for you to work on. So you can write that down as well. So I will make a second list. And I will do it in another notebook. So for me, I really want to go to Portugal to go to my dad. And that's an example of something that requires a bit more action than just going there. You have to book the flight, you have to pack your bags, but you also need to communicate with my dad, for example, that I am going there, and ask when I can come, for example, but also look when the tickets are cheaper. And there are just basically a lot of things for you to think about. So this one step that I have can be more than one step. So I'm just going to write it down, and then I'm going to write down also the things that I can think of that I can do already. So the little steps that are required. I don't have to write everything down. I can, but you don't have to. So you can write down the first step that you have to do, which is just contacting my dad about wanting to go there and asking when I can come. That's the first step. So I might only just write that down, or I can write everything down that comes to mind that I have to do as well. It's something that you would like. So like I said, some things require one step, some things require multiple, and some things require systems. So for example, the second point that I am making is that I want to work out more and meditate regularly. And this requires you to not do it once, but like every day, and like incorporate it into your daily life, for example, or weekly. So it requires you to not do it like once, but it needs a little system. You need to do more than just do the thing. So what I mean by that, ask yourself, like, how can you make it easier for yourself to do it? Like, what makes it attractive for you to do it? What are your rewards and stuff like that? So it requires you to actually have a new behavior. That might be a whole other topic, because it's just more than doing it. You know, there's a whole science behind it, and I would really like to make a video about it if people like that, because it's more than just doing it like every other day or every day. You need to wanting to do it, you need to make time, you need to plan it in, you need to make it like easy for yourself, you have to make it attractive for yourself to do it, you have to reward yourself. It's a whole thing to just do it. So I will speak about that another time, otherwise this video might be too long, but I will just write the things down for myself as an example. So how I have written it down is to make it easy for myself and knowing when to do it. So what you're going to do is basically you like stacking your behavior with something that you're already doing. So I do my skincare twice a day. I never miss a day. So the perfect time for me to like meditate is before or after I do my skincare. So in that way I know when to do it, and it makes time for me to have a significant time to do the meditation. So I will do it like after my skincare. And then what I'm going to do is, you have like with shortcuts on the Apple phone, but it's basically that you can put in like a YouTube link and make an app icon on your homepage, and if you click it, you go to this video that you just put in as link, and so you don't have to scroll through YouTube and get distracted. For example, you can just click on the icon and the video will open up, or maybe you can download a video. There are all sorts of examples, but I can also do it silently, of course, but like to have some like background or guided meditation. So I just know that after my skincare, I will lay in my bed, I will click on the icon, and I will do a meditation. That's it. So to me now, it's very clear when to do it and what. So another example are feelings. So I've said this before, you might have like a fear for the dentist and you want to change that. Well, you can do several things. You obviously can see a professional if it's really bad, if it makes you want to procrastinate and not go to the dentist at all, or if it shows up at other places, it's a good thing to talk to a professional. So that might be a good choice. Also, talking to a friend is a really good place to start. Maybe that person has the same problem, knows solution, has some tips or something else. But another very good place to start is to do your research. You're going to answer some questions for yourself. So the best thing for you to do is to know where it comes from, obviously. This might be hard, but I might help you with that. You can DM me on my Instagram and ask me anything basically, but I might help you find where your problem lies. But yeah, doing your own research is highly recommended. So I can make a video about how to change that and how to know where traumas like these are coming from. But in short, it might come from your needs or boundaries as a child were like being neglected by someone else or maybe by yourself. That's very shortly said though. But for example, what could happen is something happened in the past. You had like a lot of pain at the dentist, or you met someone that was really not like kind to you or didn't explain. Maybe one of your parents like forced you to go there or was afraid of the dentist themselves. Those could also happen. Or maybe just procrastination because it's not the nicest thing to do. And the more you procrastinate, the more fear is being associated with the thing, like with schoolwork, for example. And then if you want to go there again, you're being like, oh, I don't want to do this. So you're putting it off again. And then when you finally have to do it, there's a lot of fear, and that becomes bigger and bigger by time. So that's also an option. But like I said, it's very complicated basically. It's a good thing to know where it's coming from. But if it's too hard for you or you don't understand or whatever reason, you can always just meditate beforehand, go with someone, ask for someone that might know what to do with people if they're afraid. I think there are a lot of dentists that deal with people that are afraid of the dentist. At least that's what I've heard a little while ago from someone, I think. But a lot of people are afraid of the dentist, I think. So for you saying that maybe to the dentist, like, hey, I don't like this, gonna be paired up with someone maybe that communicates well or something. So that might be a to-do, for example. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to hear any thoughts about the video or answer any questions you might have. Also, be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks again for the support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care!